Woo, it's hot out here. My Lord, it says it's 107 right now. Oh, 96 in the shade. And that feels like 107. I'm not sure what it is out here in this bright sunshine. But like always, we got to come out here and try to save the plants. Yep. So let's get to it. Oh, well, hello there, friend and family. Didn't see you walk up, but you're always welcome here in my little piece of paradise in the deep south of Alabama. And since you have showed up, figured I'd just show you what my afternoon routine is like. If we don't do this, what little bit we got won't be growing for long. So come on, if you want to, you can help me out and you can tag along. And of course, always, there's my Cleo at my feet. She's hard to see in my shadows, but you might be able to hear her scratching on my shoes. Cleo, you love Papa? You do. Yes, she does. So yeah, as you can see, plants are looking a little wilty and not too dapper. Of course, we left the hose out here in the sun, so we're going to have to make sure we take that hot water off, and we won't waste it. We'll put it in the bed. We're trying to keep our collards going and what little bit of tomato plants we got left. And then we're just going to start flooding this down, right down through here. Yeah, it's all nice and cool now. Woo, they're going to start loving it as that precious water sinks in. But this is an essential task every afternoon in this blazing heat. Give them a drink in the mornings, you know, around anywhere from 8 to 9, depending on what time I get up. And this is right now round 3, and we're back at it again. That's one thing about raised beds and gravity. You know, water's going to find its lowest point. And with raised beds, you water them, and the water runs right down through to the ground below. Yeah, we give them all a nice drink. Well, cherry tomatoes, they're still hanging in there. We got a few on them, but in all this heat that we've had ever since May, the amount of tomatoes we've gotten has been rather sad. But that's what we have to do. We have to come out and drench them with water just to save their lives. And that's the one thing about watering. You just can't give it a little spritz and walk on. You got to give it enough to soak on down and replenish its roots. It's nothing more. It's sort of satisfying. Yeah, the better boys, they too this year not fared well in all this heat. And I've said it before. This is probably my worst year for gardening that I've ever had. And the more I think about it, yep, a little bit's all about I got in late. Then there was tremendous heat. But I think some of it is the plants know the old man's been struggling. His heart's just been not into it like it has been in past years. But by not giving up, you know, I'm hard-headed that way. I planted it. Well, I bought it. I planted it. And I hate to have them die. You can see this one up near the top is starting to get rather wilty. And we don't want that anymore now. I just do this because I just can't let them die. Maybe you're like that too. Once you start something, you have to finish it until there's no point. But we're not at that point yet. And plus, this cools down the soil, which bakes in this hot sun. You know, and I look at that. Auburn University has a site where you can look and see what the soil temperature is at different depths. And I look at that every night. And it's down by the river, about 7 miles from me. And the soil temperature and the heat of the day will get up to anywhere from 86 to 89 degrees at 2 to 4 inches. Unbelievable. And then it starts to cool off, but not by much. Even at 6 to 8 inches, it's still above 80 degrees. So the plants really struggle. Their feet are hot, below ground, and above ground, they're just frying and dying. Well, that'll be enough. Till morning time. Now here we are in the back of the house where I've already got my watering cans all filled up from where I finished yesterday afternoon. And normally I'd pick 2 of them up, one in each hand. But since I've got you all along and I'm toting you, we'll just have to take one at a time. It'll be okay. The doctor says I need to get in my steps. And we'll head on down here to the tire planters on the south lawn fence. It's just a short walk. I hope you won't mind. And here we are at the tire planters, where we got our peppers growing and one sort of sad collard plant. And you can see we got plenty of peppers down here. Woo! There's 4 on that plant. We got 1 back there. No, this one back here has actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's only got 2, 3. And then of course, our lunchbox is still loading up. See right there? And the banana peppers got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're hanging in there. But they definitely need a drink. And we just flooded on in there. Just like that. They'll really appreciate that cool, now unchlorinated water, because we let it sit overnight. So now we got the peppers watered with 2 gallons of water. That'll be enough for today. We head her back up, getting in the steps. Yeah, the last time I talked to my doctor and he mentioned I needed more steps, I told him, you don't have a clue what I do daily in my life. So we'll head up here and get another can, and we'll head back on down to give some relief to that single collard plant. And we got us another 2 gallons. At what? Well, a little over 16 pounds. So when I'm toting 2, it's about 32 pounds a trip. Sort of kind of silent this time of day, because in this heat, even the birds are quiet, enjoying the shade. We do the same thing. We just flood it on in there and let it soak on in. And as sad as that collard looks, you might wonder why I even continue on. Well, it's not giving up, and I'm not either. It's sort of a symbol of its struggle to stay alive and my struggle to stay alive too. But then we got to go back and we got to fill them all up, because we're not done yet. We still got the old clothesline planting. We still got a few survivors. Yeah, and they're struggling too. But like me, they haven't given up on life. I guess it's sort of like what I've been thinking about a lot. You know, I'm not giving up. My plants aren't giving up. We all got to sort of be in this together. And then we just fill them back up. Just like that. There's one full. Now the second one too. It sort of gives us a moment to catch our breath. And in this kind of heat, you really need to. You need to take it nice and slow. At all times, try to stay in the shade if you can. That's not always an option. But I do my best, and you know, if I'm out here weeding or working in the yard, I know when I need to get in the shade. So never fear. The old man's not risking his life. He's just doing what he got to do to keep his own spirit alive, but his plants too. And then we're back to toting them once again. So let's go on up and check the old clothesline planting and see how it's fared this blazing hot day. And we did some weeding yesterday, got everything cleared out. You can see the peppers looking a little bit cheerful, not so bad. So we'll give them a drink so they remain that way. And they've got a lot of new growth coming on. You can see right there a new blossom. And many more that have finished up. Oh, there's some peppers right there. 2 on that side. 3rd one right there. Yeah. The lunchbox is coming back to life. Yep. 1 right there. 1 right there. Give a half can to that one. Half can to this one. Prop it up right there. And let it soak in nice and slow. Oh, that one's done. Time to get another one. And down we go again. There's nothing more that keeps me from sitting around and just becoming a couch potato, which is bad for us seniors. Yeah, we need to stay moving if we want to stay breathing. That's a fact. And sometimes it's difficult. I'll give you that. Some days just ain't in me. But I do it anyway. Just prop that up. Give it a good tasty drink. Yeah, about a gallon or so. That'll get it through the night, now that they're in the shade. And the last one we gotta do is a little struggling but still surviving early girl right here. Yep, it's got new growth coming out way down low. If that continues on, we'll trim this spindly one off and see what happens. If we can get it into the fall and the temperatures come down, I think we might still see some tomatoes off of her this year. Well, there you go. We don't waste a drop. So there you have it. For just what little bit I got growing this year. That's what I do. every morning and every afternoon. And like I say, the way I look at it, it keeps them growing, and I hope it keeps me growing too. And then we just fill them back up and let them sit overnight. One down, second one to go. And of course we got our reserve over there. I'm not too fond of that watering can. It's 2.5 gallons. And in my older years, it's getting a little too heavy to tote around. Woo, that water's nice and cool. And there's not much chlorine in this. That's why I don't worry about the second filling so much. But that first 4 gallons that sits overnight is basically chlorine free. And that's the best for the plants, you see. Now I fill them up like that, and you know what happens. Birds, I've seen them come stand on these watering cans and get a drink. I've also seen possums and raccoons come up. And occasionally, a groundhog or two. And the squirrels, yep, they'll jump up and get them a sip too. That's another reason I fill them up and leave them overnight. So yeah, y'all, that's my current afternoon routine. It ain't much. And like I say, it probably seems pointless considering the condition my plantings are in. But like I say, it gives me a reason to get out of the house, do something, get moving around, get my mind off things. While I'm out here, you know, I check the big tree, I check the kitty crew, I do all that. Just like I'm doing now. To see if the birds have left me another pig. But I don't see one at the moment. Yeah. But we got a nice breeze coming out of the north to northeast. The clouds are shading the sun, so it's time to head her on in and think about fixing up some kitty crew chow and something for me too for supper time. Spooky, you ready for food time? I think you are. Oh, something came from Walmart. Well, I know we didn't order it, so that's got to be from one of y'all. You know how I like surprises. Can't wait to open it up and see. So we'll bring that on in too. Kitty crew's got enough dry food, enough fresh water. Yeah, life is good. But just that short time of being out here, I'm already starting to get moist. So I better get in. And there's my Speedy right there. Spooky down there. Somewhere along the line, we left Cleo behind. But hey y'all, until we see you on that next video and episode of Mr. Tom's Neighborhood, y'all take care. Stay safe out there. May God bless you as you bless those in your life. Goodbye for now. Whew, I gotta get in, cool down a bit, and then think about supper time. Yes, I do. Later, all.